each place, each of the rooms has different characters which will satisfy your moods and what you want to do. The house should give Shanti and Ananda to everybody. And that is the role of every house to do. This house belongs to Chitra and Rajan. Chitra sketched how the house should be. She said, I want the living room here, I want a house with a garden. The inside-outside relationship, everything is there. But a lot of changes have happened. And that has evolved as an interaction with Chitra and Rajan. I think one of the things she wanted was good natural light, good cross ventilation, and she wanted the garden to be very much a part of the house. The transition from the house to the garden is very important, which I think it has been done.
I have been doing environmental sustainability work with nature. And so I wanted a residence which was a shared residence with inhabitants from the nature world.
This is the front veranda. You come from the garden, crossing the covered carport, you come here. You have a small lily pond here. And the lily pond separates the living room, or there is a sunken seating area and the porch. Now we are sitting in the dining room. This is the center of the house. One side is one bedroom, another side is the living room. Simple plan. Kitchen is towards the back. And first floor, there are 2 bedrooms on either side with a small family area in the middle. So the plan is very simple, like most of the other houses. The thing is that when somebody approaches the house, they don't see what is inside the house. There is a definite zoning or anything. I mean, you don't see the garden very much. The well was there. It was Chitra's idea that the well should be made a little bit more usable and made a part of the garden. She wanted a meditation room. She wanted to sit on the floor in all those things. This is a simple timber jali, which is made with solid timber planks with those grooves. We can see similar designs in some of the traditional buildings. We can find similar designs in some of the furniture pieces. So when we had to think about adding that, filling up that triangular portion, we thought instead of filling it with brick or mortar and things, we just thought we'll try to do with so that the light or the air or everything comes in a very, very diffuse kind of manner. The only thing is that we just design the house in such a way that the requirements are taken into account. I had to see that lighting is very balanced and good cross ventilation is there, because this house is not very far from the beach. You get natural wind. I think the house is few degrees cooler than similar houses. I mean, this is peak summer, but we are able to sit without a fan comfortably. Some of these features are there in all my buildings. I mean, the way the staircase is positioned, I think Chitra, wanted staircase to be very private. The house is a small foyer kind of thing, so you don't see the living room. The living room is not used as a passage in this house. The room sizes are not very big. People live in Bombay standard, this is very big, but by Chennai standard, the house is not extra large or anything. And the one major thing is there is a continuous overhang in the building. The sun's rays don't directly hit the wall. So naturally, the building will be cooler. And it doesn't hit the roof also because of the double roof that we are given. So we have tried to cut the sun's rays by using certain features, and we have tried to position the windows in such a way the cross ventilation happens. We done the house and given, but Chitra added the plants and the greens and the creepers and things. The house is always made later. So there's all these things makes the house cooler. And in a climate like in Chennai where humidity is very high, cross ventilation is very important. I mean, if you open all the windows, you can see the living room has windows on 3 sides. This is good cross ventilation. The bedrooms, most of the rooms, the wind comes from southeast or northeast. The wind gets into the room. So what we have done is use only those basic principles in a very, very careful way. See, the wood we have used extensively. Even the living room has timber flooring. We did not buy any new timber. We use recycled timber. All this teak has come from old buildings which have been demolished. Using more and more timber in buildings is very sustainable because you are not allowing the carbon in the timber to be part of the carbon cycle. Carbon is stored as this thing. So very sustainable. If this timber is burned or decayed, then it would have gone. So we tried to limit the use of formaldehyde or plywoods. Most of the plywoods in India has formaldehyde. Especially when we built this, there was no formaldehyde-free plywood available in India. It's one of the specialities of this house. We would love to work with craftsmen and carpenters or masons. Or so you can see one of the things that you see in these houses, you can see the work in this era of everything mechanized and machines are used. We can still see the little bit of the craftsmanship. So unless we give work to the craftsman, the craftsmanship will not be there to continue for the future. So you can see when you see every part of the house, you might think about the craftsman who had made this building possible. So we try to make the house very healthy, very natural, and even in the roof we have used linseed oil for the things. We did not try to make it look very with the typical kind of finishes. Is not what we try to look at. I mean, make a simple, natural house where you live healthily, you live happily, you live peacefully, and that is very important.